right near the crease to create that depth and make your eyes look big and punchy. Hello, my dear, amazing, wonderful friends. I wanted to put on some makeup today, and since today I don't stream, and since a dear friend of mine, Admiral Peach, suggested she'd like to see a makeup tutorial video, well, let's try it. This time I'm not going to be talking about anything except the makeup I'm applying. If you want to hear about my opinions and feelings about makeup, they are quite nuanced. You can check out the video up there. I'll link it up there for you. It's been a year since I've done a makeup video, and I probably am not going to do these too often, but yeah, let's see. Go show what I do. So when I clean my face, like I mentioned in that previous video, I wash my face typically with water before I stream, or if I want to use a cleanser, I use like a gentle skin cleanser like this one. This one's a Rexall brand, but a brand name one that's very similar to this is Cetaphil, I believe. I use this. It's really nice. It's gentle. It's non-comedogenic, fragrance-free, and hypoallergenic, so it's good for sensitive skin like mine. And I moisturize. I use, my favorite moisturizer to use on my face is CeraVe. I love this stuff, moisturizing cream. I get the one for normal to dry skin because that's my skin type. And after that, moisturizers, you know, nice and infused in my skin. I put quite a bit, particularly around my eyes, on my neck, all over my face, and it feels nice and soft. It's ready for the makeup. So I sometimes use this Quo Total Perfection face primer, and I've kind of played around with some different face primers, and I don't notice a huge difference. So honestly, after this is done, I probably won't be replacing it with another face primer. I don't know. Sometimes it's nice if you're not wearing any makeup. It can kind of blur your skin a little bit. But I really don't notice that much of a difference when I'm applying my makeup versus not having it on. I think a really good moisturizer that works for your skin type is a perfect preparation for makeup, personally. Yeah, and I put it around my nose, on my nose, areas where my pores are particularly visible. Like I said, I don't notice a huge difference, but maybe part of it is like the placebo effect. I don't know. How's your day going so far? Are you good? I hope you're good. I've been struggling a little bit with my depression. I'm trying to get so many things ready for this year. I had such big plans for 2021 in my content. And one thing I'm really committed to getting started this year is a podcast about my chronic pain. For anyone who doesn't know, here on YouTube, I have a few chronic pain conditions: myofascial pelvic pain, endometriosis, and painful bladder syndrome. And the primary ones that cause me my daily pain is the painful bladder syndrome and myofascial pelvic pain. Luckily, my endo isn't as bad as some other people. I've had one excisional, well, it's like a minor surgery where they go through the belly button and stuff, and to check and maybe burn or remove any growth. And I had minimal growth. That was 4 several years ago. I have it documented somewhere, but I'd really like to get that podcast going because it's something that I really care about, and it's one thing that I kind of wish I had when I was struggling with some of my pain and not having any answers, was someone else out there maybe I could listen to and relate to about it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that going, but it's going to be a lot of work. So I have to do a lot of backtracking, looking through a bunch of things I've written down about it, and get the timeline right and everything. So now we're going to, I love how I said I was going to talk about makeup, and now I'm rambling about other things, but you know, it is what it is. So right now I'm using a combination of 3 foundations. My skin tone is fairly pale, as you can see, but it's got like some cooler greenish tones. So I love this foundation. This is my primary foundation I use. It's the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. I believe this one is the luminous one. It's not the matte one. This is 410. This is the primary color I use on my face. 410 Ivory. And I also have another one. You can see it's a little more of a cool tone. Not sure how well you can see that. It's a little bit more of a cool tone and a little bit darker because, as you can see, I'm kind of in between the two. And this one is 425 Linen, also a luminous one. Give it a good shake. Oh. And I use a little bit, if I need a little bit more, this Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, Soft Ivory, Light Warm. So I use a little bit of that. So I'll show you how much I put typically on one hand. I do 1 pump of the 410 on the back of my hand, like that, right there. Because I noticed when I just use this one, it doesn't quite match the skin tone on like my shoulders and stuff. And this is the 425. And I usually do about a half a pump of this one, not like a full, you know, like a little bit. I have to replace this one soon, so you can see just a little half of that. And for the photo focus one, this one is a matte foundation, and sometimes I just notice it matches my skin a little bit better if I have a dab of that one. So that's a lot of foundation, but you know, we're gonna mix it up here. So I use my finger and then I mix it up. It's good. I have a new sponge that I use for my face because my old one got worn out and I didn't want to replace it because I got that one, I think it was a beauty blender one, and those are super expensive and I didn't want to replace it with another beauty blender because it's kind of out of my budget. So I got this. This is a Quo sponge. I don't remember what kind of sponge it is, but it's like a makeup sponge. It's best after I've used it like 2 or 3 times after I freshly wash it. I think because I know it sounds kind of gross, but there's like a little bit of makeup in there, so less of it kind of absorbs, so more of it goes on my skin. I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but I just get some on there and I start with my nose. Then I work my way out. And I really like to press it right into that nook of the corner of my nose, because sometimes that spot makeup can get a little cakey, and when I use the sponge and really press it in there, it gets distributed a bit better. And these days I haven't been using concealer very much. I've just been using my foundation, so that's why there's a little more on the back of my hand than in that previous video, is because I use this also for concealer after I'm done putting it around on my face. Yeah, just tap it. Yeah. Oh, this feels good. This feels good. It's been a while since I've recorded a video for YouTube too. I have a backlog of a bunch of stuff, particularly on GG Fizz's server. I've got a few videos already. I think today, after I'm done this recording, I'll probably work on editing a video. I had a time on Tuesday I was typically uploading, but I've been giving myself a little bit more flexibility because I've noticed with my depression, anxiety, and my chronic pain recently, it's been hard for me to meet like a time deadline. I bring this down my neck a little bit because I've heard from lots of makeup artists that it can help kind of meld into your skin tone when you bring it down your neck a little bit. And it can also create like a nice surface if you're going to be applying makeup products like along your jawline and stuff, which I'll be doing today. That's another thing I've integrated since that past video, which I've been messing around with a little bit and I like, which is a little bit of contour. Oh yeah, and I'm using the pointy end for concealer areas to get in the nooks. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. You know, if you're enjoying the content, like the video, subscribe, share it with friends or family members or anyone you think would enjoy it. Leave a comment below. Do you wear makeup right now? What kind of products do you typically use? Do you use just a few? Because I know back in high school, I only used 2. I didn't really use more than that. But now I'm using more. I use this to kind of highlight the bridge of my nose too. There. Get a little bit. And a little bit on my forehead. Pat it in. Yeah. And a little on my chin. So like when I layer the foundation on top, sometimes I can get a little bit more coverage in certain areas, so I feel like I might want it. Yeah, my eyes are... I had a really horrible sleep last night, so my eyes are a little darker. I'm a little more pale than I typically am today. That looks like I got okay coverage so far. So I like to set my face with this Rimmel London Match Perfection Silky Loose Face Powder. This one's transparent. And this is the only powder I've ever used, and I like it. So I just keep using it. I don't need much. If I'm doing a really dramatic eye look, I usually would start with my eye makeup. So I can remove any excess or remove if powder ends up on my cheekbones. I can wash it off. But since I'm planning on doing like a nothing too dramatic today. I want to do a warm palette. In the previous video, I did like a cool one. So I want to do kind of a warmish, a little bit of a nude natural look today. I think that would be nice. Yeah, I'm using the lid. And I just put, oh, by the way, this is an e.l.f. brush. I keep remembering I should be talking about the products I'm using. So this is an e.l.f. brush. The handle unfortunately wasn't glued very well, so it came off. I think this is either a powder or a blush brush. It's one or the other. But they have really good brushes for pretty good prices if you're on a budget. I do like them quite a bit. Around my nose, and I usually put a little more powder on the areas that do get a little bit sweaty, or should I say a little luminous from my body sweat. So I try to put a little bit more, but otherwise, you know, just kind of pat it around. But not put too much powder on because I have naturally dry skin, and if I put too much powder on, it can get kind of flaky and not pleasant, and it doesn't feel very good either. I tried to lay out all the products in front of me so I wasn't digging through my drawers like I was last time. Now we're moving on to eyes. Oh, and of course, after I just said that, I didn't pull out my eye primer. So I love this eye primer. I do need to prime my eyes because if I don't, all of the eye makeup gets collected in the creases and it doesn't look very good. So I love this. This is Almay. Is it camera? Can you focus? Almay Velvet Foil Cream Shadow. I kind of wish Almay had a cream version of this that was matte because I love the formula. It's really nice. I also have, I have 2 of these. I have this color and I have a paler color that's kind of like an opal white color. And I use that one when I'm trying to do something maybe that's in a cool palette or one where I want to really bring out a bright color. And I use my finger. I just tap it onto my eyelid. Yeah. And sometimes I'll move it out a little bit. So fade it through my crease onto my brow bone a little bit if I want to extend that color out a bit. And sometimes I get it a little bit in the corner of my eye there, but I'm okay with that. Today I'm going to use a little bit of an eyeliner that I really like to put in my right below my tear duct. I like using it a lot when I'm recording videos or streaming because it kind of highlights a part of my eye. But yeah, I love this color. Once I'm done this tube, I'm gonna get more. Sometimes when there's stuff on sale, at the drugstore, I'll pick up something, particularly if it's an eye primer, to try it out. And I bought one recently. Oh my god, it was horrible. It smelled so strong of cologne. And I was like, why? Why? Like, strong cologne. And I'm kind of sensitive to smell, so I was like, ugh. I couldn't even use it. I don't even remember if it worked well because the smell was so strong. I'm all those people where I'm all about fragrance-free. Fragrance-free makeup, yes, please. I'm going to do one eye at a time so you can see the difference. And while this is setting and drying, like, it dries pretty fast. I think it's mostly dry right now, but I like it to kind of set a little bit and work on my eyebrows next. So this eyebrow in particular, I've been working on growing out. You can see a little bit. I have a few more eyebrow hairs that have come out here because recently, since I started doing my makeup again, I noticed that my eyebrows are asymmetrical because I overplucked this one right here. So I fill that in. Right now I'm using two makeup products primarily for my eyebrows. I got this Revolution Brow Pomade. It's been lasting me a long time, medium brown. It comes with this little dual-ended brush. I'm actually one of those people. I feel like it's kind of rare because I hear from lots of makeup people online that they hate double-ended brushes, but I love them. Mostly because I like getting stuff that's economical. So it's like 2 brushes in one, which is perfect. And with my makeup supplies, I have everything lying flat, so that works perfectly. So I just get a little bit onto the pointy end, and I start putting it on. Yeah, you see I fill in that area so it matches the length of that one a little bit more. And I have some parts of my eyebrow that are a bit patchy, so I run it through so I have a nice consistent coverage for my eyebrows. I still remember in college, one of my roommates, oh my god, she had the most beautiful eyebrows. I would get lost in her eyebrows. That's a weird thing to say, but I did. You can already see the difference in like the shape, because I noticed with this eyebrow too, when the eyebrow hairs are down like this, it can make me look a little perturbed when my face is resting naturally. So I like to have that kind of like the shape like this. And obviously it's really dark right now, so I go through, I have this other I have a brow pencil. I really love the spoolie on this one, so I use this to apply some brow wax to get that brow nice and fluffy and kind of spread out the coverage a little bit more. So I use this Essence. It's All About Brows palette. I bought this because it's cheap. Essence is a super inexpensive brand, so I feel like that's a nice one if you're trying a different kind of makeup product for the first time, just to see if you're into it. But obviously, since it's really inexpensive, you know, some products may not work for you, and you may have to try a couple from some different brands to see if it's something you want to include. See if it's something you want to include in your makeup routine. There we go. Fluff up the brow. There we go. And that's one of the reasons why I love that there's access to so much makeup content online that you can watch before you commit to purchasing a product, especially if it's an expensive product. But you always have to use your discretion following suggestions from other people online, because some people are sponsored and some people, you know, are playing up their sponsorship with a brand. So it's good to just be aware of that. That's not to say that those people are lying, but it's just a good thing to keep in mind when you're considering a product. Okay, there we go. That's good enough. Good enough. Now, next step, I've got a makeup palette. So this one, it's got duct tape on it. This is e.l.f. Cosmetics Opposites Attract. And it took me a while to realize that e.l.f. stands for eyes, lips, and face. I was like, how smart is that? Great branding. But I like this palette because it's got a variety of colors, warm and cool toned. So, and the kinds of brushes that I typically use, I use these 3 brushes above anything else. This one is a Quo brush, and it's really nice. It's like a fluffy tapered. I don't know exactly what kind of brush this is called. This is an eyeshadow brush. I think it's a blender brush. And I love this one. This one is sort of a flat-edged, small. Here, I'll put over the black so you can see it. See how it's flat like that? I love this one, and I'll show you why in a minute. But I think I'm going to use this one primarily. I'll be using this one from Quo and this one. This came with a eyeshadow palette from Urban Decay. And Urban Decay almost always has dual-ended brushes, which I really appreciate because I use them a lot. And they're pretty good brushes too. So I'm going to dip into this color right here. This one is called Fresh. We want to be fresh. And this is going to be a blending color to start with in my crease. I start by lightly applying it in that corner and then feathering it out and blending it towards my eyebrow. I try to get like a nice even distribution with most of the color in this area, but a lot of the darkness is focused right near the crease to create that depth and make your eyes look big and punchy. Yes, so warm. Let's see. I'm thinking we're gonna go on to Cheeky next. That's this one right here. Gonna be a cheeky today. Yeah, a little cheeky. I don't know how makeup artists manage to make the most beautiful faces when they're doing their makeup. 'Cause I feel really derpy when I'm doing my makeup. Maximum dirt factor. Yeah. Do any of you watch any makeup artists online? I have a handful. I think my favorite makeup artist online right now is Raw Beauty Christie. She's great. She's very entertaining, and I like how real she is about stuff. She's got a lovely personality. She's very open about things she struggles with too, which I always appreciate in content creators. Oh. I'm making this a bright. I guess I'm going more heavy-handed than I intended today. Okay, that's a start. Now I want to go in with a deeper color. Let's see. We're looking here. I think this nice warm brown is called Warm. Very descriptive. So we're going to go with that flat-edged one I was talking about. So I love this one. I'll show you why. Because it can go right into that crease nicely. And I like to tap my brushes off too. So I dip it in and then I tap off excess. That helps kind of prevent some fallout on your face. So I start deepening up that crease. Usually I put a color on my lid first before I do this. We're just gonna roll with it. Create some depth. Yes. That's good. Oh yeah. Many of you have been playing any video games you enjoy or are playing around with any hobbies recently? There's another lockdown in Toronto right now, so I actually rediscovered my love for jigsaw puzzles. I need a new setup for my microphone, I think. There we go. Oh yeah, that's better. I want to get a boom arm that goes from above. I think that'll help a lot with me hitting my mic, and I won't have to move it when we have kitty moments on the stream. There we go. It's getting deeper in there. There. And kind of feather it out But I like having a nice distinctive darkness there to get started. I know it's looking a little patchy right now, but don't you worry. I'm gonna even it out. But yeah, jigsaw puzzles. It worked out perfectly because when we were coming back from the computer store, when I brought them in, we came back and found a completely unopened puzzle outside my building that someone had brought outside to leave there for someone else. And it was a cat puzzle, which is perfect for me because I'm a cat lady. So I brought it home and I started assembling it on a stream. And then the very next day we got a call saying the computers are ready. So we got them back and I finished that puzzle on my own and I had so much fun because it's so relaxing and a way to challenge your mind. There's problem solving involved and creativity, and it was really nice. Like a nice way to kind of give your brain a break, you know? There we go. Okay, it's looking a little better. And I like using the other end to help blend the colors and kind of soften the edges. Especially when it's clean like this. It's really nice. And then if I want to add a little more of colors, I think I'll go in a little bit in Sassy here, which is the lighter one. I just lightly tap it in there so there's the barest tiny amount. And then start fluffing it in a little bit. There we go. I want a little bit more. Oh, yeah, that's a lot. Bit nice. A little more color in there. There. Yeah, it's looking okay. Now, I want to do like a shiny. This is a Makeup Revolution Tamix Revolution Tropical Carnival Shadow Palette. This one has lots of bright colors in it. Oh yeah. Maybe I'll actually do this deep red one. What's that one called? Yeah, that's Spiced Rum. This one. This red up here, that's Spiced Rum. So I'm going to do that in the corner. I got a little bit on my finger. When I'm doing the shiny colors on my lids, I like to use my finger. Because I find the oils in my hands and stuff kind of help it to stick to my eyelid better. So I get less fallout. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm digging that. Yeah. There we go. Nice. If there's... I don't think there's a color in here I want to use for the inside of my lid. I'll go back to the other one for the inside. Or maybe I'll use my highlighter actually. You know, one nice thing about makeup products too is that you can use a lot of products, say for your eyes, for your cheeks. You could use products for your cheeks, for your eyes. Just be careful with the ones that are for cheeks, for your eyes, because sometimes some of those products say don't have close to your eyes. Because, you know, eyes are sensitive and you want to be careful with that. So for my highlighter today, I'm going to use e.l.f. again. This color is the Shimmer Highlighting Powder Starlight Glow. I love this highlighter. It's perfect for my skin tone. As you can see, I've used it a lot. I'm going to use it until it's completely gone. I'm going to use that on my inner corner of my eye here. Yeah, a little bit of a punch of bright highlighter. Oh yeah. That's good. I like to blend it in kind of halfway across my eye. brightness across the lid. Oh yeah. So this is an eyeliner in a dual package I got when it was on sale. This is from Annabelle Brush Tip Eyeliner. I wish I could remember what color it was. It came with black mascara, and I thought this was a black eyeliner, but when I opened it up, I was like, whoa, it's gold! And it's actually quite shimmery, so I like to put this right here. Just right in the inner corner, and it just catches the light when I turn my head, and I like that a lot. Sometimes I put it a little up, so it's like on that corner. Pretty amazing! Oh yeah, I like it. Now we are gonna work on underneath, on the under eye portion. So I'm gonna go again with that thin brush, and we're gonna go start with, I think the cheeky color again. Get that, and start to get it under the eye. I like to go nice and close to the lash line. And I bring it up. And I try to arc it towards my eyebrow. So you see where the arch of the eyebrow is going there? I arch the color up. And that helps give me a guideline for my eyeliner too. There we go. Oh yeah, I'm liking that color combo. I'm liking it. Maybe today, since I'm doing a bolder eye look, I'll do a more subtle lipstick. And then it will be opposite what I did in the previous video. A bold lip and a subdued eye. There we go. Oh yeah. Looking good. Do any of you listen to music while you apply makeup or have videos going in the background? I usually like to have a YouTube video going, whether it's a gameplay video from a content creator or a makeup video. I haven't been watching as many makeup videos these days as I have in the past. So I've been kind of cemented in my current routine, when before I was experimenting a lot more. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's good. So I think I want to brighten up here a little more too. So I'm gonna grab that fluffy brush again and grab a little bit more of that cheeky. I'm gonna start over here and work my way up. Really fluffing it in. I can meld that bright color in there from below. Yeah, that's nice. And now, so I use this often, so I don't wash my brushes every time I do my makeup because that's a lot of time. But I do it either once a week or once every couple weeks. And I use this brush cleaner. This is from Quo again. This is the Color Swap Cosmetic Brush Refresher. And I swirl my brush in a circle like this. Brush's shape doesn't change too much. It's similar to when you're actually painting or drawing. Like this kind of circular motion will keep the brush pretty nice. And you can see it's practically clean. And I can do that with this one too. And of course you need to clean this periodically too. But luckily a lot of the powder drops down to the bottom. Look at that. Pretty great, right? There's still a little bit of residue, but it's pretty fresh. Okay, that's all looking good. Now, next step is eyeliner. So again, this is Quo. This is when they rebranded, they released a bunch of new products. They reformulated and rebranded Liquid Precision Marker. I like this one a lot for eyeliner. So usually when I'm doing eyeliner, I kind of prop my hand against my other hand to help steady it. And I start by going really close to the lash line. Oh. And I don't talk much because I don't breathe much when I'm applying eyeliner. I try to get it nice and close to the lash line first. I get that coverage. And then if I'm going to try to do a cat eye look, which I'm going to try to do today, I wing it out. I'm going to go around my boom arm right here. Oh, I see. I can see a little bit of fallout on my face. I'm not sure if all of you can see it. On this cheek, there's a little bit. So I use my brush I was using for powder earlier, and I just whisk that off. All right, let's try this. So again, I follow that line, and I go inside the color towards my eyebrow. In that, at first, I make it like a straight stamp as a guideline. That one a little lower than I wanted it to. And then I connect that line from over here. I try to go straight across. And you want to keep your eyes as closed as possible when you're doing this, so you don't get that eyeliner into the crease of your eye. Yeah, this is a good eyeliner. I really like the felt tip. You know, when it's well made and the formula is really nice. I prefer a nice strong matte black liner. But I have a few colored ones. I have a blue one, I have a purple one I like to use sometimes. Okay, this eyeliner is getting a little out of control. I guess we're going bold today. Okay, that went a little lower than I intended, but alright. Oh, that big eyeliner booger. I try to dry it a little bit before I move on to the other eye, but obviously I'm doing the two eyes separately, so I just do this for a little bit. Good enough. So, this is Essence I Love Extreme Crazy Volume Mascara. Yes. So I don't typically curl my lashes. I'm pretty happy with my eyelash length. I have been thinking about some fake eyelashes just for fun. It's been on my mind more these days. So next time I see some on sale, I'm gonna try to grab some and see what I think. But I've heard good things about the magnetic eyeliner eyelashes. So I may try those. But I usually build up the corners quite a bit first on the outer edges to really widen my eyes and continue with that kind of cat eye look. And I blink into the mascara because I find that creates the best coverage. From lash line to lash tip. I do the same thing that I do with the eyeliner, where I don't have my eyes super open because your eyelashes can bump on your eye and get some in the areas where you have eyeshadow. That still happens to me, but this kind of minimizes the chance of it. There we go. I hope I'm being articulate about what I'm doing. I'm trying to focus on articulating myself. I like this I like this mascara too because the end also has, I'm not sure if you can see that, the end, it's designed so you can use the end too. Mascara camera. Okay, I think you can see it there. The little furry bits on top. Because I like using that when I'm trying to get nice and close to the edge without using the whole thing and getting it on my face, if you know what I mean. Good enough. Now, lower lashes. I do the opposite from what I did before. Sorry, I'm a little weirdly emotional. Yay. So down here, I lower my eye. Oh, I can see a little clump. That clump. There we go. And try to open my eye up a lot. And start at this edge. And work my way across. Ooh. Okay, I got some on my face. That's okay. It's alright. Don't panic if you get mascara on your face. Wait for it to dry. And my favorite way to take it off is with that eyebrow spoolie I was using earlier. Because once it's dry, you can just get it off, no problem. But if you try to get it off when it's wet, it'll smear on your face and it'll just make the issue even worse. There we go. Okay, and now that that upper portion is a little more dry, I'm gonna go over it a little more and trying to separate those eyelashes a little bit. That's some extreme mascara there. This corner. That nice and thick. I got more on my face. Oh well. Okay. Good. Now, while that dries, I'm going to take a second and I'm going to do the other eye. And we'll be right back. And I'm back with approximately the same-ish eyes. I actually kept this on my face so you could see how I typically remove it. And while I was doing the second eye quietly on my own, I was getting a little emotional thinking about things I've been struggling with recently, my chronic pain, my depression, my anxiety, and I just want to say a quick little message to any of you out there who may also be struggling with anything mentally or physically. You are such an incredible, strong person, and you are capable of so much, so much, and you're not alone, and you're important, and you're amazing. And back to makeup. Take a little, oh, by the way, I don't think I mentioned this before, but you can have a little bit of a paper towel nearby, especially if you're putting stuff directly on your hands while you're working with them to wipe off your fingertips, or if you have like a reusable face wash thing that removes makeup. This is mine. Sorry it's dirty, but I use it a lot. And you can rub off your fingertips while you're working on stuff, and it helps a lot. So here we go. I'll zoom in here. So I've got a little bit on my face. It's all nice and dry, so I can just use the brush on it and get it off. There's a little bit of residue, but I'll address that in a moment. Do I have any on this side? Not especially on that side. So if you find there's a little bit of residue that's bugging you, I have this other powder that I use. I use this one very rarely. If I overdo my bronzer or something, I'll put a little bit of this over top. This is Maybelline New York Super Stay Full Coverage Powder Foundation. I very rarely use this because I use it more like a powder than actual foundation, but it's nice and brightening. This color is 110 Porcelain, and I'll take a little bit on my fingertip, just like a tiny little bit, and like dab it on. And it's a little brightening along that area, and then it's like it was never there. Yeah. And one thing I want to emphasize for anyone out there who is a content creator like myself, whether you're doing makeup stuff or you're just playing games, you know, you feel free to go bold and strong, because sometimes on the camera, those sorts of things don't register as strongly as they would in real life. So sometimes when you go more powerful than you typically would, it'll be a little more subdued on camera. I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but that's something I've noticed. I don't have a super intense camera. I have a Logitech HD 1080p camera, and it's great. It's really good for streaming and content creation. But it's not like, you know, the powerful, super amazing ones that lots of makeup artists have out there. So, yes, we're done the eyes. Now we are moving on to the face to create more dimension and stuff. So I start out with contouring. So I have the Essence Contouring Duo Palette, and I'm using this brush here. It's Quo as well. The new Quo brushes are way better than they used to be. This is one of the old ones. The old ones are pretty coarse and stuff, but this is perfect for what I'm doing. I don't even know. Is this a contouring brush? Or blush brush? I don't even know. It's smaller. It's smaller than the brush I use for powder. If that helps anyone with distinctions. I use it for contouring. And Essence, like I said, it's really affordable, so I just do a little dab in the darker one, and then I do more dabs in the lighter one. Give it a little tap. And then I follow where I see my cheekbone is, and a little bit down. Just swirl around to kind of give some definition there. Oh yeah. That's good. And this is what I use when I'm getting a little bit of dimension on my nose too. So right underneath the nose, and then very lightly along the sides. Create some nose depth and shape. Oh yeah. That's good. Yeah, not bad, not bad. And then we want a little bit on the jawline. Not much. And up along here. This can help define your jawline, and it can create an amazing shape too. If you're really uncomfortable with your neck area, this can help define things in a different way that you may like. That's good. Is that all? Did I do both sides? Oh, I didn't do this side. I did this side. I didn't do this side. Okay, this side. The brush strokes I'm using too are really light. And once I lay down the basic shape by stroking back and forth, then I do kind of like a swirly brush stroke to kind of meld it in to the rest of my face makeup. And like I was mentioning before, the foundation creates a nice template for defining the jawline and stuff with contouring powder. So that's good. Done with that. Now moving on. Another Quo brand. This again was before they reformulated, so their bronzing powder is probably much different than it was. But this one's got, let's see, what color is this? They might have something that's kind of similar to this now. If you go to a drugstore and ask a salesperson there, this is Quo Bronzer Duo South Beach. And it's got kind of like this little pinky shade in the middle, which is nice. And then I start by tapping it onto the top of my head and then swirling. And this particular bronzer is for pretty light skin tones, similar to myself. And you can build it too to make it a little bit darker. And this creates that impression of being a little sun-kissed and helps define your face a little bit. Because when you just put foundation on, with just foundation, it can create a blank template that you can work with. And you can do a lot with that. I think if you go for a light makeup look, like BB cream or something like that, having your skin tone show through is nice too. It really depends on just what your preference is. I like to get a little bit of a sun-kissed look along my cheekbones and a little bit on the bridge of my nose too. If I was in the sun, that's where I would get some sun. Like that. There we go. Yeah. I like it. It's good. So next, oh, and for a brush, I don't know what kind of brush this is. This was one I got as a gift too. It's good though. Sorry, that's so unhelpful. I think it's a powder brush, a blush brush, or face brush of some sort. What are you? Who are you? I'm not sure. Yeah. And this is another brush from the same kind of grouping. This one's a little bit smaller. I use this one for highlight, but we're going on to blush. This is probably the most expensive thing that I'm using today, but this was again something I got from my brother's ex. This is a Benefit blush brush maybe, and it's very soft. I think this one might be real fur. I personally wouldn't purchase something that had real fur. There's so much high quality faux fur stuff out there that I don't see the reason to personally. And I'm gonna be using for blush today. I love this blush. It's a cream blush, and it's a Joe Fresh blush stick in the color Rose, and it's really nice. So I put a little bit on the back of my hand like this. You really don't need much at all, like not much at all. I'm gonna try to make like a circular mark, and I don't even use all of this. And with the brush, I just dab it in there a little bit. Get a little bit of a pink on there, and then you smile so you can see where your apple of your cheek is. And what's great about this color for me personally is that when I'm blushing, this is like the color that comes out of my skin. So this is like a perfect tone for me. And that nice fresh. Oh, I'm putting actually more on than I typically do. Oh well, it'll be a blushy day. There we go. And on this cheek. There we go. That's nice. Alright. A little bit of balance there. So I do it mostly on the apple of the cheek, but you can also bring it up a little bit. Up onto your cheek. Some people kind of blend it into their bronzer, and that can be really nice too. Right. Does that look good? Yeah. Pretty good. Very pinky. So you see I barely used any of that. And I'll rub the rest off on a little bit of tissue paper to get it off my hand. I really like this one. This probably is one of my favorite blushes that I have right now. And this was actually one of the first things I bought when I first started streaming. When I mentioned in that previous video that I had bought like a couple lipsticks, some blush, and mascara? Maybe? It was 75% off. I got this for only like $2. Pretty amazing. I don't even know if Joe Fresh is still making makeup. This is probably past the deadline of when you should be not using your makeup anymore, but it hasn't been causing any irritations on my skin, so I'm continuing to use it. Alright. Next we have highlighter. So again, I'm going to use that e.l.f. highlighter. And again, as a reminder, shimmer highlighting powder. Starlight Glow is the shade for this one. That is nice. I just swirl my brush around in it and then tap it off and go along the highlight of my cheekbone. I have a few blemishes right now, so when you have some blemishes, you can try to avoid... You can completely avoid putting highlighter on too. It's really a personal preference. Sometimes I'll go with no highlight and sometimes I'll put some on. More often than not, I use it though. And I like to bring it down onto my cheeks too, because see the shape of my cheeks like that? I think it's cute. Hello on the chin. And I like to put it right under my eyebrows to bring out my eyebrow bone. Just a little on the temple. Sweep it on the temple. There. And I use my finger and dab a little bit on my nose. Along the bridge. And then after dabbing it, just take a couple quick sweeps without adding more onto that brush. There. For a little definition. There's most of my makeup now. Now I just need some lipstick. So, what am I feeling today? We could go super matchy. But you know what? Since I have a little bit of glow, this is one of my favorite lipsticks that I have. It's almost completely done. I'm gonna be replacing it because I love it so much. Skip the Gym Almay. I love Almay's lipstick so much. I really like the brand in general. They've got a lot of really amazing products and they tend to be very hyperallergenic, good for sensitive skin, and they're really great. And they're very buttery and soft on the lips. And this color is just incredible. It's so good. It's got a little bit of a shimmer in it. And it's like peachy. Oh yeah. Like, it feels nourishing to your lips, which I feel like many lipsticks often don't quite feel that way. Oh yeah. There we go. Feels good. Yeah, so there's a tutorial. I hope I outlined everything I was doing in a way that was, you know, understandable. Next time, I'll try to do a little more research into what kind of brushes I have, because I know me being so vague, it's like, it's this shape, probably isn't very helpful. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed the tutorial, feel free to like, subscribe, comment. Do you wear makeup? Do you have any interest in wearing makeup? How do you feel about makeup in general? I'd love to hear from you. So have a wonderful day, and I look forward to hanging out with you in the next video. Take care, my dear, amazing, wonderful friends.